let's talk about tokens that have a high price impact. What does that mean and how can you find out if you're paying the right amount? Let's go to Jupiter.ag as per normal. And what I'm going to buy on this occasion is some CatWiff hat, some CWiff. Now, this is not a recommendation to buy. It just shows it well because this is what we call a token 2022 standard. So this has a transfer fee. We can see here there's a 4% transfer fee, but quite often this is going to be more expensive than 4%. It'll often be double that. I think I've worked it out, but essentially what I'm going to show you is the way to get the best price. So I'm going to go and buy a small amount. I'm going to buy 0.9 Sol. So we're going to lose a little bit of value here. We have a price warning saying 8.4% more than Bird Eye, but remember the price feed between Bird Eye and Jupe, it's never going to be accurate. It's never going to be exact. And apparently, if we do this, we're not going to be losing any tax. But then we can see over here that we are losing. We're losing quite a bit of value. This is Solflare. So we've got different data points here. This says we're getting 125 million and it's going to be worth $144. So we'll quickly reject that and we'll go down to the bottom here and we'll click on this tab. This takes us to Bird Eye. At this point, we can go and we can type in 125 million and we can see a significant amount of price impact. So it doesn't matter where we go with this particular token, we are always going to be paying that amount. So if we come down over here, we can see there's a pretty sizable market cap. And if we come down even further, we can see there's a huge amount of liquidity. So even if we went to Raydium, we'd still be getting the same rate. Now, I believe the reason for this is because you're basically buying and then transferring to the same wallet. So you're essentially paying 4% times 2. So we're not going to go with such a large amount because we're just going to be losing value anyway. But we'll go and swap here. We know we have to pay that tax. We can see that we're losing, on this occasion, $4 just to buy it. This standard token normally means that some of those tokens get transferred to either the team wallet, the other holders, or I think with this occasion, the tokens can be burnt. So they can be taken away from the total circulating supply. We'll probably be able to see that actually in the transaction as well. So on Jupiter, the UI is showing that we're not losing any value, but we know that we are. If we flick this back, and if we sell all of our tokens, will we get 0.4 Sol? We do not. We can clearly see that we've lost approximately 8% in value. So we're going to swap back now and we'll approve here. Now the token 2022 standard, it's not very popular. There are some tokens that use it. It hasn't really taken off. So there shouldn't be too many that are affected by this. And in the future, if there's more people using this, maybe the UI of all the different dApps will give us a little bit more of an overview. But Jupiter is correct here. There is a 4% tax, but it's a 4% buy and then a 4% transfer. And same with selling. So ultimately, each time you interact, it's an 8% tax. Unless, of course, if you transfer your CWiff to a new wallet, then you only pay 4%. Now, there are some other tokens out there that may even have more of a price impact. So as an example, let's take some Sol and let's go and buy some Burn. This is a token that's a little bit older. I think this was the first token 2022 standard. And if we put in something like 0.2, we can see a 4.2% tax, but down here it's 12.8% more expensive than Bird Eye. This once again has a couple of those reasons. One, it's 4.2% times 2, and the other reason is this has low liquidity. So the actual swap fees in the liquidity pools are higher. Ultimately, at the end of the day, you want to know if you're going to Jupiter, are you getting the best price? And the answer is yes. There's only one more thing to consider though. If you had a huge amount of Sol or CatWiff that you actually wanted to sell, then maybe you don't want to go and put it all in one trade. Like as an example, let's even change this to 300 Sol worth. We're going to notice that the price impact will increase. And you can see down here, a DCA is suggested. So you can go and use the DCA feature, or you can put in multiple trades and it won't have the same price impact. So each of these, if it's 30 Sol, then you could do that 10 times and you're going to save quite a bit of money. That's all for this tutorial. Catch you in the next one.